So a key feature of this, I've been in touch with Ellen Brown. You may know her um, well-known book, The Web of Debt, where she talks about the global debt system that is puts the bankers in control of everything. This is World Constitution gives us global public banking, interest-free development loans, debt-free money creation. It transforms the global economic system away from rule by the wealthy and the bankers to democratic rule by the people of Earth. It's a transformative document. It is what we need for a future, to have any future at all on this planet. So WCPA and the Earth Constitution Institute, these are the things that we're doing now. We're collaborating with NGOs and activists. Very often they'll do their work under the banner of the Earth Constitution. So if they're environmental organizations or human rights organizations, they're doing it under Article 19. They're saying, we're working for world government through our human rights activities and so on. We're developing chapters and individual supporters worldwide, of course, and we continue to do that. It's really exploding in India. We have thousands and thousands of people in India that are identifying with us in this way. And we're in the process of defining and organizing some of the 1,000 electoral districts. And here is our new initiative. In 1 minute that I have left, Anna, here is our new initiative. We're investigating and working with people to create secure online voter registration using blockchain technology. And so we're creating electoral commissions and registered voters within electoral districts. And what we'll do when this is sufficiently developed is create a virtual world parliament with delegates elected from these electoral districts. And that virtual world parliament will be the first step in ratifying the Earth Constitution. So that's the direction that we're not just waiting around for somehow this thing to be passively done. Under Article 19, we're laying out the actual infrastructure for making it happen, the groundwork for getting the Constitution there on the Earth. And just one more point, we're not the Earth Constitution itself says that the UN, all the viable UN agencies will be integrated into the Earth Federation government. So we're not abandoning the UN. The only thing that needs to be abandoned is that horrific charter that blocks everything. It's predicated on militarism and it's predicated on sovereignty of nations. But all the World Health Organization, the High Commission on Human Rights, everything the UN is doing that's valuable like this will naturally form the core of the initial Earth Federation government. So that's it in the half an hour that I have. That's an overview of what we're doing and the way I see the function I see the Earth Constitution having in our attempt to mature on this planet to a holistic and harmonious human civilization without war, without destroying the environment, and so on.
Great, okay. Thank you so much, Glenn, for that informative presentation. If you would stop sharing your screen, we'll transition to questions and comments. The way I would like to do that is I'm first going to invite people that have questions only. So a question, as you know, is a request for information. So if there's information you want from Glenn, if you would put your hand up in the participants box. This is not the time for comments, speeches, anything like that. This is a request for information. Then once we've gotten through all the questions, then I will open it up for comments if anyone would like to say anything as a comment. but I want to make sure that all the questions get asked first. So with that, the first question comes from Arthur Kanegas. Take it away, Arthur. You have to unmute yourself.
Hi, Arthur. I can't hear you.
Arthur, we still can't hear you.
You're having trouble hearing me?
I can hear you now,
but it's very low if you lean in toward your microphone, so we can hear you.
Forward. Now is it good?
Much better.
Very
What's
good.
your question?
Yes. Okay. The key question, this is fantastic. My key question is, in voting, have you developed any way to get a synergistic system of voting so that it's not win-lose, the majority rule, but rather something that's more evolved, something beyond that?
Yes, we've been working on that for a number of years. We're not at the stage of actually having the digital voting I was talking about done yet, but we intend to have it much more sophisticated than the win-lose, weighted voting, or some system of voting that that includes everybody and doesn't exclude people who are declared losers and so on. Yeah, it's a good question.
Right. Thank you, Glenn. Our second question is from Simon. You have to unmute. Okay, go ahead.
Hi, Glenn. That was excellent. Where can we read what you told us about with these charts and facts and figures? Where can we read it?
It's in the chat box. I put the link to Glenn's blog and his organizations in the chat box.
How do we find the chat box here?
You click on chat at the bottom of your screen, and the chat box will appear. Okay. But Glenn, did you want to add something to that?
Well, yeah, you can go to our website, which is Earth Federation, Earth Constitution, all one word, .world, earthconstitution.world. And my website, my personal website is oneworldrenaissance.com. And at that website, many of my articles are posted, and they talk about, you can tell from the titles of them, they'll talk about the development of human consciousness, or the axial period, things like that. Or I have one called The Tragedy of the Planetary Commons, which depicts some of what I talked about today, that right now, the oceans of the world, for example, and the atmosphere of the world and the forests of the world are part of a commons that is being destroyed, because these things should belong to the people of Earth, not to this or that nation, or in the case of the oceans, they don't belong to anybody.
Could you?
Okay, thank you, Glenn. It looks like we have one more question before we move to comments. Simon, we can pick you up again in the comments. Okay. Thank you. So Bill Pace, our next question.
Well, I'm sorry, I was a little late getting in, but I'm just trying to remember the wonderful man that was outside of Denver who was deeply involved with
Philip Isley. Philip Isley?
Very good. No, thank you.
Yeah.
I just had forgotten Philip's name. Thank you.
Yeah. And we give him great credit, because he had this energy and this vision. He got it all going, and he's still there. And in fact, in my new book, where I talk about the environment, I quote from Philip Isley's. He developed certain lists of the environmental problems being faced by the planet, and the ways that the Earth Constitution would address these. And I quote his lists in that book.